Welcome to Books on Air, the podcast that tells the story behind the book. It includes insights from authors about how they compose their work, what inspires them, and what they hope you'll take away from their book. Here's your host for this episode of Books on Air, Suzanne Harris.
Welcome to the Books on Air podcast. I'm Sloan Fremont, filling in for Suzanne Harris. This is a podcast where listeners get the secret story behind every book. Joining me today is Murali, Dharan, author of the book, The Cosmic Romance with Existence, a personal guidebook for spiritual warriors to merge their light with the cosmic light. This book is one of the answers to the prayers of those who seek the divine for liberation from pain and suffering and to attain inner peace. This book is your friendly, personal, spiritual guru to guide you on your inward journey to build self-knowledge and turn challenges into personal strengths. So, Murali, I would like to welcome you to the Books on Air podcast. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
So let's start out by telling the audience just a little bit about yourself and what led you to write your book.
Okay. My name is Murali Dharan. I stay in Singapore, and I'm a social worker. I have a bachelor degree in counseling and a master's in social work. So I chose to do social work because of my passion. And while doing my social work, I go deep into building human relationships. Also I study human behavior. That's one part of it. And the second part is also I'm a spiritualist. I will spend time more on meditation, reading spiritual books by enlightened beings, and so my passion to write this book is came by for two reasons. Firstly, is my great passion in working with humans, providing human services. That's number one. And number two is I strive for inner peace, bliss, liberation, enlightenment, you can call it. So or another simple way to put it is awakening. Awakening for every person. So I have a passion towards these two directions, whereby it made me think and merge them together. So what I did was I brought in my knowledge from working with humans, providing human services, and also my knowledge in Kriya Yoga, Raja Yoga, and many different meditation techniques. I've learned a couple of meditation techniques. So all this I brought it into my book to deliver a message, not deliver a message, deliver several messages to my audience to help them lessen their inner pain, suffering, good healing, and also give them a sense of awakening. Yeah, because I strongly believe that most of our problems in our life actually happen due to a lack of self-awareness, lack of self-knowledge, and not having the ability, or maybe I would say blockages within ourselves that prevent us from going deeper into ourselves to knowing about ourselves. Because as we clear the blockages within ourselves, our perception will be put very clear, and we are able to handle situations very well. If we are unable to clear the blockages within ourselves, what happens is that we drop into a state of metaphysical sleep, which is actually highlighted in one of the chapters in my book, whereby our perceptions will be unclear and our actions will be not very good, and I would say communication will be very bad, and also we will be under the control of our mind and body. So how this book actually works on how we can master ourselves, self-heal, awaken, and also be positive accept to our own self and do some positive contribution to the world. So that is the book about. It's about more about, I can call it, personal development, self knowledge, self healing, and of course, if the person is going to read this book regularly and slowly, this book I would say that you have to read it very slowly. Okay? Some people like to speed reading, so I don't recommend speed reading for this book because spiritual books you need to digest it slowly, do it mindfully, step by step, and you can get some of your a light, or you feel a light within yourself, which actually helps greatly in helping. It helps greatly for a person to liberate from their pain, their life pain, suffering, and yeah, and if if they are doing the meditation consistently and regularly, they would go into a stage of enlightenment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so much there that you said. I mean, you talk about that pain and suffering that most people, I think, are trying to escape from in some way, right? People do that in various ways. It could be drugs or alcohol or various other things. And what I found in my own life, that when I run from my own pain, that actually causes more pain than just addressing the pain. You know, if I actually would just be with myself and instead of fighting myself, I find that being with myself isn't nearly as bad as the fight that I put up. And so you mentioned meditation. Can you tell us about the impact meditation has on our lives and maybe your experience with it and how it's changed things for you?
Okay. I'll link up with your message with how meditation helped me and what I highlighted in this book. So, okay, whenever I faced pain in my life, right, I start to avoid it. When I face challenges, I avoided it. When I face stress, I avoided it because it's a natural human mind whereby I do not want to face pain. So I want to reduce pain and maximize pleasure in myself. Happy moment, happy moment, happy moment. So that moment, every time I'm striving for it, so I'm trying to suppress all my pain. So each time it suppresses, multiplies. For example, I give you an example. If I tell you to stop thinking about an elephant, I ask you to stop thinking about a camel, and that's when we start thinking about it.
Right.
Stop thinking.
Right.
Yes, my mind is stuck there. So what I highlighted in my book, okay, this is something I learned from meditation. Meditation helps to overcome compulsive behavior. So I'm not against people who smoke, who drink, who take drugs and so on. But I'm trying to say that, okay, like for example, let's go to drinking. Okay, it's about if you have one or two drinks, it's fine. But what happens is that meditation helps us to overcome compulsive behaviors. That I need to do this. I need it to survive. No, you become more aware about your actions. So slowly it will try the what you're doing reduces. I mean the habit reduces. So you see, for example, people say do not smoke, but there are many people who go through stress. They immediately take some chocolate bars and then they munch and munch and munch. So they're adding more sugar to their blood. But we are focused on people who are smoking, but we are less focused on people who are adding sugar to their blood. So one thing is, whatever habit is there, the meditation teaches us to bring awareness to the habit, and then what happens is that we overcome compulsive behaviors. But will the miracles happen overnight? No, it is consistent practice, being silent and really meditating. Because some of us, we say we are meditating, we close our eyes, we start to daydream, and then we
Yeah.
start to daydream about that chocolate, and later what's going to happen later, my friend is coming over to the house, I need to clean up my house, and all those thoughts come in,
Yes.
and then we say, I feel happy. No. So it is actually you are daydreaming. Some people are daydreaming. So are you meditating correctly? That is one thing, number one.
Okay.
And meditation helps overcome compulsive behavior. Second, about negative thoughts. Okay, negative thoughts, negativity, I would call it dark shadows, or I could call it demons. Okay, last time I used to avoid the demons. Oh, yeah, I don't want this problem. Man, I don't want to take this issues. Handle this. It's very stressful for me. I want to maximize my pleasure. This is the problem. Is when we keep avoiding the demon chases us. So, what meditation teaches is to face your demons. Face your demons. Demons is like transform your energy. Transform your energy. So meditation teaches us to take the negativity and transform it rather than avoid it. So that is the which is highlighted in my book, Transformation. So positive thinking, what is positive thinking all about? Because sometimes we think that let's think positive. Oh, okay, like for example, my grandmother is about 95 years old and she's in hospital and doctor says that she's going to pass on in a few hours. And then I sit down saying that I'm positive, I'm doing positive thinking. I'm doing positive thinking. She'll come back alive. I can't do that. That is some people apply positive thinking in the wrong way. So
Yeah.
what I'm highlighting is try to make positive thinking is bringing in higher qualities of consciousness. If you meditate, you get beautiful qualities: compassion, gratitude, um, faith, um, I've highlighted in the chapter called Seeds of Consciousness on what are the positive qualities. And meditation teaches us the real meaning of positive thinking, because sometimes we end up doing positive thinking, and then what happens is that we fall into the drain called toxic positive thinking. So we start to, my boss scolds me for my own good, so that I will be the best employee. I'll get the best employee award. So my boss scolds me, I'm okay, I'm fine with it. Some people you just go with it. No, you should think. That's where the clarity comes in. So transformation of energy, overcome of compulsive behaviors, transforming your pain. That means also looking when you receive your negative situation, when you get a negative thought, you know how to transform it. So each time a negative thought comes in, you are transforming it to your strength. And then the more negativity comes, you're going to get more light. The more negativity comes, you're going to get more light. It's not that you're avoiding it. Each time you avoid, no, you're going to have a lot of challenges. When you're sleeping, you're going to have dreams. You're avoiding something negative, but it still comes into your dreams and then disturbs you. So no matter how much you avoid, you can't run away. Some things can be avoided, or maybe an exhausting person who's your colleague who talks to you every time and then exhausts your energy, whole energy. After you talk to him, already half your soul is gone already. So you don't want that to happen. So some areas avoiding is fine, but we can't be avoiding everything. We have to take action. We have to take action. We have to transform. We have to look into ourselves. This is where it happens that we want to look into ourselves. So each time we can ask advice. Can you give me some advice from someone? Someone can give us some advice, and maybe we can apply it or we cannot apply it. It doesn't work sometimes. It works and it doesn't work. You see, people can give us advice, nothing wrong in that. But meditation is the best advice you can give to yourself, because the reason is in meditation, you get your answers from within through your intuition. Intuition is which between you and the universe. And intuition is the bridge between you and universe, because you get the direct answer. Because every time we can learn from people's experiences, we can learn from others' advice, we can read books, many books. So, but end of the day, what is happening within you? Because I believe strongly the universe has an individual customized plan for each individual. So one book is not going to fit all of us.
Right.
So if you're going to read a spiritual book, say that yes, he is same religion as me. He is same religion as me. I'm going to follow the same thing. Oh my God, you're going to put yourself in suppression. You're going to put yourself in stress. And you're going to go through lots of mental tortures and pain. But if you're going to read the books, nothing wrong with reading the books, attending courses or going for spiritual talks and so on, nothing wrong in that. But end of the day, all these messages come to us, it become customized. And What is your individual plan? What is the customized message the universe wants to reach to you? That's what meditation highlights. That is
Yeah.
the beauty of meditation highlights. So if you what I talk about my book is you can read my book. You can read my book. So what I told my audience, I'm telling my audience now is you can read the book. You can read the book. But remember, each time you're reading the book slowly, uh, you are absorbing the knowledge in your intellect, your mind, your knowledge. But remember that your guardian angel, everyone has guardian angel. The guardian angel beside us will customize their message in this book to fit your daily life moment, your daily life context. Yes, it will fit into the context. So I'm not saying read every book, every page. No, read what your guardian angel, your intuition tells you to do. That's all. I'm not forcing anybody. Just read what
Yeah.
your guardian angel says. Yes. Take it easy. Because spirituality is simplicity. Don't put too much of
Yeah.
strains. I want this, I want to follow my book. You're going to exhaust yourself. So my book is to help my audience to be free in the flow, enjoy the moment, every moment in life, and also rise yourself, raise your higher, connect to your higher self.
Yeah. And what I love about what you're saying is some of these spiritual topics have as even as you mentioned, there's ways that people talk about them that lead people to do things the wrong way. Maybe people do things just to check a box to say, yes, I quote meditated when I laid down for 5 minutes and closed my eyes, but yet my mind was a million other places and thinking about a lot of other things. And then when you think about, you even mentioned the spiritual books or even, religions, and there's this, over the years, it seems like there's been this message that everybody has to do it the same way. And if they don't do it the same way, that there's something wrong with them. But what I love about what you're offering is you're saying, customize it for yourself. Take the pieces that work for you, take what you need in the moment and customize that for yourself. And I love that message because, first off, I personally can't see how it could be done any other way because no two humans are alike. No one's had the same experiences, all of that kind of stuff. But that understanding that we're not all coming from a cookie cutter, like a copy of each other doing the same things. And that there's so much freedom, I guess, in that, in being able to know yourself enough, be willing to go there within yourself and be able to go on your spiritual journey as yourself and not as a version of somebody else because you're trying to follow some path that doesn't even fit for you, but you're following it because so-and-so says you should follow it.
And what I want to add on is like sometimes, we read a lot of books and then we have an idea of another thing also about male and females. Male and females, I think it shouldn't be comparing with each other or competing with each other because the reason is fire and water cannot be compared because they have their own individual powers that is given by the universe. So a woman should be like this, a man should be like this, yes. But we do not go and compete. Hey, I want to be like this, blah, blah, blah. You cannot. So that is something that we have to bring in. That's what meditation also teaches. Sometimes I'm competing every time. I want to compete. If I'm opposite gender. You're wasting your time. Why are you, if you're a fire, just be a fire. If you're a water, just be a water. So what does meditation tells us is to bring in if you heard about these two energies, masculine energy and feminine energy, which is actually situated at our spine, which is actually I taught in this book called the Chakra Meditation. So the energies get balanced. So and when the energies get balanced, everyone has masculine energy, male energy and female energy inside them. So they are able to use it at the right time, at the right moment. Because some people also, they tend to meditate. They meditate really, then after they become very soft. Especially sometimes guys, they become very soft. They still have you taken your breakfast? They become very soft. They say, why are you not speaking like a man? You need to speak up, man. Chest up, man. Stomach in, man.
Right.
But the guy, hi, how are you? The guy starts to speak like that because he asks him, what are you doing? I'm meditating. Come on, man. Meditation actually teaches a person to be play your gender role properly and
Yeah.
also be balanced. That is the
Yeah.
thing. The union. You cannot be comparing some people. You be a man means you be a complete man, but you're able to tap into the female energies when you need it. Because of course, if you're going to your partner, your spouse, or your female partner, you're a male, and then you cannot be going there with all your domination and aggression, and then you go and talk to her every time. She will feel, oh my God, cannot. This guy is killing me. That's when happens. So you need to go a bit soft, delicate, gentle, loving, kind. So these are qualities. So you have to balance here and there. So
Yeah.
a woman also has her male and female energies. So she has to bring in some masculine energies, of course, when she's protecting her children. When she's protecting her children, of course, the husband protects her, and then she has to protect her children. That's how she becomes strong, and then she has lots of endurance. So lots of things. So it's a balance. It's a balance. So each time we are comparing the fire and water is not proper thing. Meditation teaches us how to balance the fire and water, and then go connect to your higher self.
Yeah.
That's the girl.
Yeah.
We also call it the alpha energies. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that balance and that understanding of self too, as we talked about at the beginning about the most people have the desire to run from the pain or avoid the pain and suffering, right? And they don't, nobody wants that. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to experience that. But those feelings are a messenger. They're telling us something, right? And when we're not willing to listen to those things, when we want to avoid them, when we want to hide from them, we're not getting the message that our body, our soul, our spirit is telling us. And so what we're talking about now with meditation and understanding, having that balance within ourselves. And I think the way I always talk about this is it's being willing to do this for yourself. Right? It's being willing to take the time to address it, to stop the avoidance, to stop the running, and actually sit with yourself and understand who you really are. So you can know if you're following your own path or if you're following the path of someone else, right? If you don't even know yourself, how do you know if you're on the right path, right? And so this work that we're talking about, it's so worth it. that's like the simplest statement, but how would you explain that? Like if someone listening is new to this type of work, how do you explain to them, the benefits or maybe being even on the other side of having written a book about this and experiencing it in your own life? What advice would you have for someone new getting started in this inner work for themselves?
Okay. I will separate my audience into two categories. Okay. The first one is people who are striving for awakening. And then I say, I'm a meditative person. I like to meditate. I like to do breathing exercises. I like to do yoga. I want to achieve something, a clarity of mind and peace. This book is great for them. And also those who are not into the spiritual path, but they want to do some healing for themselves, the healing from their pain, they having some anxiety, they having some nervousness, stress, daily stress, at work, and each time the boss is picking on them, or they're meeting a colleague who is always giving them some sexual harassment, how to deal. But I've written in this book on how to identify a demon which is outside of you and within you. So also identify the angel outside you and within you, because we cannot be, there is sometimes spirituality or, religions, we used to say that the demon is there, the angel is there, that kind of thing. Yes. I'm not trying to touch that, but also remember the angel and demon also live within us.
Yes.
They are two sides of the same coin. So it's there, and we have to, instead of every time saying, I went to the dark place and I saw one a paranormal activity happening, instead of doing that too much, look at the paranormal activity happening within us. So instead of watching the exorcism movies, look at what we can clear up from ourselves, which is a daily man, daily human, daily lady. What can they do to them for themselves? So I have helped them in this book. I was highlighted to those who are in the spiritual path. It will be a very good book to them, and those who are also healing and trying to deal with daily life challenges, daily battle. That's why I wrote the work here, spiritual warriors. Why? Because it's not that every time, what's the warrior? Every day you leave your house, you are facing a battle. You are facing a battle. But how are you going to handle the battle with a clear mind, stable physique, and able to deal with your battle, subdue the battle, and come out as a winner? How are you going to do that? Your daily battle. So this book is not only for those who are in the spiritual path, who are striving for their inner light, enlightenment, liberation. This book is going to help those who are actually facing their daily life challenges, emotional issues, mental stress, intrusive thoughts, going through daily stress, having this thought, tomorrow I got a presentation to do. What's going to happen? What if they ask me this question? What if? So the what if really suck out all the energy. By the time they reach the presentation hall already, they're like, oh my God, So, so, and that's the thing. Just be in the flow, spontaneous, engage, be calm. How to bring in the calm energy inside us. That is the book about. So it's for every person who is interested in helping themselves and help others. That is the two important things. It's not only for the spiritual man, it's not only for the spiritual lady, it's for any person who is one who wants to take the daily life battles, handle the daily life's battles better. Even a person who went through abuse, trauma, lots of challenges, it can be very, very, very useful. This book can be really useful. So I'm not really saying that read each chapter one by one. No, you just read it slowly. For example, I have this book called Forgiveness. This chapter on 21 about forgiveness. So forgiveness. For me, I say that every time you say that I forgive you, Sloin, I forgive you for the mistakes you did to me. I forgive you, Murali, you can tell me. But end of the day, I wrote in this book is, yes, forgiveness is good. It heals us. But the best forgiveness you can ever give to yourself is self-forgiveness. Because you need to tell yourself and tell to the universe, or you can call it God. You and God, or you and the universe, higher powers, you have to talk direct communication. Say, I self-forgive myself. That is the number one thing. Don't expect other people to forgive us, because forgiveness is good, but no one, for me, at a higher spiritual theory, if I bring in, we do not have the rights to forgive another person, because we are also here serving our own sentence, we call it, our own karma, our own punishment, our own. We are not even stable and clear. We are trying to clear issues from ourselves, and here I become a saint, and then go and I forgive you, I forgive you, I give you my blessings. I'm already, my shirt is all dirty, man. I come over and then I say, I give you a hug. You try to polish up ourselves, work on yourself. So working on yourself, forgiveness helps in healing. I forgive my opponent. Yes, helps in healing. But the best thing you can ever do for yourself is self-forgiveness. Forgive yourself. You can get away from guilt. You can handle your guilt better. You can handle past pain. So you have to self-forgive yourself. The best person to forgive, is you. And compassion. Self-compassion, lots of things. It's about inner works. So I highlight to people about that. So this book is not about every time looking outwardly, all those things. Some people, they come over, they try to observe the others. Hey, today you wear a big glasses and the mic is like this, and there are two doors behind you. Is it wallpaper? People have lots of observation over others. Yes, have a lot of observation. But the best thing is observe for your own well-being. But importantly, if you're going to observe another person 50%, remember to look into yourself 100%.
Yeah,
Because
that's very good advice.
Yeah, people are very good at looking at others. What kind of shoes you wear today, but they haven't even bought a socks for them yet. So,
Yeah,
so
because it's
they have
easy
this.
to point the finger at others and not be looking at our own selves, when generally what we notice in others is what we're missing in our own selves usually.
There used to be
Murali,
sure.
Yeah, we're coming up on the end of our time. So, and I want to just thank you for joining us and just sharing your enthusiasm and passion. I can just tell by the way you're talking and just your energy that you just have so much good energy to offer to the world. So I want to thank you for sharing that with us today. Before we close out, what's one thing you hope the readers learn or take away after reading your book?
That's something that I wrote in the book. I highlighted is that after reading the book, a few chapters, you close the book. I don't need any big testimonials, but I only want one thing. Only one thing. No, I wish for one thing. It's like after finish reading the book, your life is a little bit better than yesterday.
Yeah,
is better, you're more aware, your light has come, you are able to deal with challenges better. That's all, a small thing. I'm not asking for big things, because spirituality is simplicity. I'm not expecting miracles. I'm expecting a small change, small change that you see things better. Life seems a bit better. Yeah, man, that's the greatest reward I get. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. And again, Murali, I want to thank you for joining us and just sharing your energy today. It's been so great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yes. My guest today has been Murali Dharan, author of the book, The Cosmic Romance with Existence, a personal guidebook for spiritual warriors to merge their light with the cosmic light. And you can find more about his book on Amazon, and I'll link to that in the show notes, so be sure to check that out. You've been listening to the Books on Air podcast, brought to you on webtalkradio.net. You can also hear this podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Sloan Fremont, and I hope you'll join us for the next Books on Air podcast. Remember, you never know who's going to be here, and you never know what we're going to talk about. Thank you so much for listening.